Phillips, and this is my Milestone 4 video. Just like my other videos, I have the Milestone 4 deliverable pulled up just to make sure that I hit all of the talking points. So I'm going to get started. I already have SSH'd into all of the systems. I have 10.10.229.10, which is the Nginx proxy server, the 10.10.229.11, which is the Docker host running Ghost, and the 10.10.229.12, which is our LAMP server. So to get started, I'm going to show you the processes on Docker host and Docker PS. So this is going to be our 10.10.229.11. So to install Docker host, I did a simple yum install Docker, and then some of the commands that you can do. One would be Docker PS. This will show you all the containers that are currently running. As you can see, the Ghost container is running. And then if I wanted to remove a container, I would do Docker RM and then the name of the container. If I wanted to start a container, I would do Docker start and then the name of the container. And then if I wanted to stop a container, say I wanted to get rid of it, I would first have to stop it. So I would do Docker stop and then again the name of the container. So some of the Nginx processes. So this is going to be our 10.10.229.10, which is our Nginx proxy server. To install it, I did a yum install Nginx, and then I did some text that was added in so that it would be recognized as the reverse proxy, and that can be seen at nano/etc/nginx/nginx.conf. Oop, if I can type that right. And here, if you scroll down a little bit, okay, so you'll see the proxy pass, which shows it at 10.10.229.11. Exit out of that. So accessing 10.10.229.10/blog from the browser. This will bring up Ghost, and then explain the path of traffic from the browser and how that traffic is handled by Nginx and the Ghost container. So the first thing that will happen, a request is going to be made and sent out from the browser. Then Nginx will act as load balancing for the information that is sent out, and if it's already cached, it'll send the information back to the browser that was being requested. And if the information is not cached, it will go from the web server. It will go to the web server, which is the Docker running the Ghost container, and pull the information from there. Showing the PHP test page. I have a screenshot of this page. This is it right here. As you can see, it says 10.10.229.12. So this is the test PHP page that was created before we went ahead and did the blog page. So now if we go to 10.10.229.12, we will be presented with the Ubuntu LAMP blog. So now we're going to create a test post and then commenting so that we can see that the website is working correctly. Oops. Sorry. New. So we'll put milestone 4. This is for my video. We'll publish it. Publish. So you can view the post now. And then I can comment. We'll just say hi to show that it goes through. And as you can see, it was loaded under the post. Explain what you learned about WordPress security. So overall, I learned that while we did install a very basic version of WordPress, there wasn't any hardening procedures taken to make sure that it was secure as possible. So what we had to do was apply the concept of defense in depth. Defense in depth is a method using multi-layer protection. So what we did was, sorry, what I did to apply this concept was changing the file permissions, editing certain files so that they were more secure or harder to find, and then also installing a firewall. So some of the files that permissions were changed, so only that the user would be able to edit or read them. I'm sorry, just be able to edit them, are wp-config.php, wp includes, and wp content. I also secured wp-config.php. I did this by moving it up one directory. By doing this, it makes it harder for anyone that's surfing for the files to be able to find it, but it's also making it so that it will still function as it's supposed to. And then I also added text to the .hta access file for the wp-config.php that denies any access to the file, again, for anyone that's looking for it. And then I also installed a firewall. I was able to test the website to see if there was a firewall already installed on it. To do this, I did some research. I found out what was called a head request. So before installing the firewall, what I did was type this head request in, and then it immediately allowed the website to load. Once the firewall was installed, I ran this head request again, to see what would happen to validate that the firewall was installed, and there was a pop-up that showed that Shield was installed and that my request had been blocked. And then to validate my work with changing the file permissions, I went in and I went to the /var/www/html directory. Then I did an ls-l to bring up the list of files that were in this directory. Next to each file, you can see what the permissions are. I checked what those permissions were before, and then after, I ran that test again, and I was able to see that the permissions had changed. And then to test that the configuration of moving the wp-config.php file had been moved up one directory, I first checked the /var/www/html directory to see if it was still listed. And then once I saw that it was no longer listed there, I went to the directory that's right above that, which is the /var/www directory, and saw that it was listed there. So that means that it had successfully been moved up one directory. And I explained how to validate your work. So that is all. Thank you so much.